Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Dallas Cowboys and the Baltimore Ravens. With my good friend Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we have arrived at another new season. I had a little more pep in my step this morning. I know you did as well. Here we go.
For your 5-mile jog, you were flying. You did it in record time because you were psyched up about this game. But let's be frank about it. No more radio shows, no more podcasts, no more just predicting what's going to happen. Now we get to see it on the field.
Justin Tucker set to boom this one away. And off we go from M&T. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. As we get a peek at their dynamic signal caller hailing from Mississippi State, it's Dak Prescott. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Throwing, Prescott. Rush coming, and he's taken down. A bad start there, a big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's 2nd down.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their 2nd down call is going to look like now.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Now Prescott. And break. The tight end's got it. A good pickup there. 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. long night.
So on fourth down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. So here come the Ravens now, ready to get the football for the first time. Commanding the offense will be Lamar Jackson, the electric quarterback out of the University of Louisville. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
He's checking, he's checking.
To throw is Jackson. Got him in. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Check 55 to Mike. Check 55 to Mike.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Dontari Poe marches in for the sack.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
An opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Prescott under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Underneath, he's got Brait. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up fourth down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. And, you know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Ravens offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle. It's like at the start of a game with the emotion, guys are a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. Just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here.
Boy, you go 3 and out on your first drive, and that's not the way you want to start this drive either. Doesn't seem like they're really into it just yet.
No, first 4 plays, you don't want to call it a disaster, but not looking very sharp. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Check. Lucky.
It's Barkley on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
They've had touchdowns on both of their drives thus far, but now they face a 3rd and long. Now it's Jackson. Open man is the tight end, Nick Boyle. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. A big 3rd down conversion with a gain of 28.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. A first down carry for Barkley. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
On 2nd down, Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. We're scoreless after 1. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here. Now Saquon Barkley. 3rd and medium. They opted to run instead of pass, and it worked. First down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. Jordan Lewis right there on the coverage.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Watch the safety creep. Check.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Flush to his right. And And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Notre Dame man, Jalen Smith, able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Well, partner, so much for the mismatch. How about the guy at the second level, that big linebacker, able to run with the receiver and make a play on the football?
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. On the left hash, officially, it's called a 51-yard attempt. Tucker's kick is good. And the Ravens strike first at 3 zip. Tucker, a career 70% success rate from 50-plus. Just incredible. And the All-Pro is money from distance again there.
They ought to give him 4 points for field goals from some of the distances that this guy makes them from.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Prescott on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
A first down carry by Elliott. And nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. He's going to look deep down the field. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young.
When I was in school, math was not my strong suit, but I did learn enough to know how to play cover 3. 2 corners and a safety divide up the field in thirds. On this play, the corner didn't get fooled by anything in front of him. Kept his coverage all the way down the sideline in the deep 3rd position and makes the interception.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason, and runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Check. Watch 54. Get him. Watch out. Liam, watch safety creeping.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Gerald McCoy is so slippery and elusive in the interior of the defense. I don't care who has the assignment to block him. It usually ends up having to take at least 2. And most of the time, that's not enough either. Witness that tackle for loss.
Right there.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the first round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run, and just lost track, and it cost him.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long. Play action. It's Jackson. Now he's flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. A big kick, 50 yards that time, with a return of 4. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Dak Prescott on the offense heading back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding in the circle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide, usually going to pick up a holding call.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. That one complete to Elliott. And he'll be brought down with the 1st down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they're marched off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, it's Elliott. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Prescott's throw going to be caught by Gallup, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. So with the completed pass and the yardage they got, they'll decline the penalty.
So obviously, more yards on the pass completion than they would have gained with the penalty. They did the math. They did it well, and it works for them.
A first opportunity in the red zone for the Cowboys. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. Prescott from the gun. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Prescott. This will be caught at about the 6. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
Here's Prescott to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
So on 4th down, Jason Garrett sends in his field goal unit. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now Jackson, and he fires one incomplete. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, ball's out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
A 2nd down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. From the gun, Jackson. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the first down yardage there. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This will be caught by Brown. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Again, Jackson over the middle here to Brown. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. Jackson, that's caught by the former Sooner, Mark Andrews. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll get started down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. And it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Baker Mayfield with a couple of touchdown passes. From there, we head to the Big Easy to check on the Saints at home in the Superdome. And they lead the visiting Minnesota Vikings at halftime. 2 touchdown passes there for Jameis Winston. Lastly, let's get to Pittsburgh. Check on the Steelers at home at Heinz Field. And you can see they have the lead over the visiting Tennessee Titans. James Washington, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gotten and Charles Davis.
Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these 2 teams as we come back for this second half. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Again, it's Barkley. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They'll run it here. This is their fullback getting the carry. And down right 4 yards on the pickup. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long. Throwing on 3rd and long. Jackson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Good job, D.
Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player When they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Mike, let's go. You got nothing. You got nothing.
On first down, it's Elliott. And he's going to work this one down to about the 5. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Prescott toward the pylon, caught. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know. Defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Prescott looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target, but now it's 3rd and goal. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. To throw is Prescott. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
And that's the kind of stand all defenses are seeking. 3rd and goal, backs against the wall, and they get a monster sack, and now they're going to force them into a field goal. For them, that's a win.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. And his kick is good. And that will tie things up at 6-6. They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. You end up having to take 3 there.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
They'll go to Barkley again. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. Jackson now hitting on 2/3 of his passes. 10 for 15 so far. First and 10. Here's Jackson. He sets to fire deep. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes this down deep on the Cowboys side of the field. A big play that time for the Ravens. 56 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Might we see our first touchdown of the game? Here's first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down. This time Jackson will throw it. Flushed out right. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. Back now in Baltimore. All even as we get ready to start the fourth. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they take the lead here as it's now 9-6. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go!
Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it first and 10. Just week one, but already plenty of intrigue with the games going on, and this one no different as we come up on a first and 10. Now Prescott. Looking for Cooper, that's complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Prescott looks to throw on first. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jalen Ferguson. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Prescott now. And break. The tight end's got it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down. Prescott from the gun on third. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lamb. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle him almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra play.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
And that's what friends are for.
Right. As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turned it over there. That's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
They'll run on first down. Elliott. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Unfortunately for you, you've been around me for a little while now, so you know me as well as anyone and how I look at a game. I don't ever advocate abandoning anything, but in this case, I'm going against my own thought process. You got to change it up. You got to start throwing it around a little bit, finding ways.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Here's Prescott. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense, great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, and especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the fourth.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bad.
I don't know about that. Super tough.
And holding it may be the wrong decision as he's stopped in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. On third down, Jackson. Hard throw, incomplete. The defense did their job. Fourth quarter, big stand.
No doubt about it, because the offense has been yelling at him from the sideline. Just do us a favor. Get us the ball back. Give us one more chance to take it downfield. The defense just did them a solid, it appears.
And when they get the ball back, they can kind of play free tie game. They're not behind. Now a throw downfield is taken in by... A big one there for the Ravens. It goes for 18. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Jackson now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. They'll run the jet sweep with Brown, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go.
Now on 2nd and 13, Jackson looking left side. Andrews with it complete. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Jackson from the shotgun. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat.
Check.
They're going on fourth down. It's Jackson. And no, it's incomplete. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. First down, Prescott. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports.
You can't stop me.
So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott, he's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And quickly we're going to get another stop here with 1:54 left as they call the timeout defensively.
Let's go, B. Big series right here. We got to step it up.
On third down, Elliott. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on third down.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard.
Here we go, D. Get off the field.
They'll run with Elliott. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first. 10th carry now for Elliott. And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. The last run got 9. That leaves him with second and a yard. On second down, it's Pollard. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on first and goal. Now Elliott. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now. So this offense now in a spot where they have to hit the end zone. A field goal does them no good at this deficit. They have 2 timeouts remaining. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win. The receivers have been running them ragged. Maybe some tired legs in the secondary, maybe some tired legs in the pass rush. Didn't get to it, and look what resulted. A touchdown, tie game. They've got a chance to take the lead.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. And he's going to get in for the 2 points. It was an incredibly gutsy call, but they've taken the lead by a point late in the game. And boy, you want to talk about guts. Guts is going for 2 when you're down 1 in that spot right there.
Do they not trust their kicker? Did they not feel that it was time to go ahead and do that? Or did they just say, we've got a play on that we're so confident in, we're going to go ahead and do it? I'm going to say they're going to say that in the press conference.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. 1 to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up. Your shot at it.
We'll see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Draw play, Elliott. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. Prescott. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. One last shot now for Prescott. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, and now I'm listening to you.